I want to share with you all a word that the Lord gave to me. You know, a lot of times we're looking in today's churches and there is this new fad, I'm going to say, where everyone is dressing down. And the idea was that in dressing down, you would make the unbeliever feel more comfortable and would come into the house of the Lord. And when they come in, they don't feel so out of place. They don't feel uncomfortable. I want to let you know that whenever an unbeliever comes to church, they are prepared to feel uncomfortable, if you want to call it that. You know, when they come in, they have a heart of preparation. When they would decide to walk through those doors, unless they're being drug in there by their mother or their father or their family or their grandmother, most of the times when a believer comes to Christ, they are ready for change, not to see what they already know in the world. All right. So I'm going to tell you what the Lord gave me on this. It's not an altar, it's a stage. It's not an altar, it's a stage. That platform in which we see people standing on. It is not an altar, it's a stage. I am a God of order. I am a God of order. Sinners will not be drawn by how you are dressed and how you look, but by the condition of your heart. A pure and humble heart. The heart of God. By your fruit as believers, the sinners will know you and either draw closer with a desire to know me, or they are deterred and withdraw. A lot of people dress down in clothes, but they don't dress down in their hearts. They are filled with envy, hatred, strife, jealousies, sexual immorality, idolatry, and every working toward fleshly gratification and desires. Change the heart. Change the heart, it will change the mind. Your attitude, your perceptions, your interactions with others, and physical appearance. Most importantly, you will exude the character of Christ. Changing your clothes does not bring sinners to Christ. It's the change of your heart. You understand that? I'm going to read that again. It is not an altar, it's a stage. It is not an altar, it's a stage. I am a God of order. Sinners will not be drawn by how you are dressed and how you look, but by the condition of your heart. A pure and humble heart, the heart of God. By your fruit as believers, the sinners will know you and either draw closer with a desire to know me, or they are deterred and withdraw. A lot of people dress down in clothes, but they did not dress down in their hearts. They are filled with envy, hatred, strife, jealousies, sexual immorality, idolatry, and every working toward fleshly gratification and desires. Change the heart, it will change the heart, and it will change the mind, your attitude, your perceptions, your interaction with others, and your physical appearance. Most importantly, you will exude the character of Christ. Changing your clothes does not bring sinners to Christ. Change your heart. And that is the word that the Lord gave to me. A lot of y'all are dressing down, but you are borderline scandalous in what you have on. What you have become truly is that you have been fooled, just like the Adam and Eve Eve was fooled by Satan. He took something and said, you will be like God. And so it's the same thing right now. He gave them the fruit, caused them to compromise by saying, this is to the benefit of knowing God. And you have sat there and you all have changed your clothes and changed the way you worship and changed your purity of holiness and removed all those things and dumbed it down just a little bit. And in the very least, some of you entered the altar in such a way that is so ungodly and worldly that you nullify what it is that you're singing about. And so you see, the enemy makes you believe that in changing your clothes and changing your appearance, this is going to bring people to God. But what it's done in truth is that you'll become the jester in the courts. You're dressed up and you're funny, and people sit down and they look at you and they are entertained, just like they did back in the days when they're called the jest, and he'll dress a certain way, because in dressing, he dressed for their amusement. He dressed in what they expected, or what was felt to be what would bring entertainment and bring, the desired effect of the court. And that is what a lot of believers has become. You're nothing more than a clown up there. You are entertaining the world. They come for entertainment. And you know they come for entertainment because when they leave, their life is unchanged. And you know why their life is unchanged? Because you're unchanged. Your life, your personal life outside of church, outside of your ministry, outside of all of that, you have no power, because you live just like them, and they recognize you and they see you and they know that you're not godly. You're not fooling a sinner. Their eyes are open to sin. They know sin. They recognize sin. They recognize game. They recognize facade. They recognize deception. Get together. Get it together. Change it. Make things right. It is not a change in your clothes. It'll be a change of your heart. And some of you may say, well, if it's not a change in clothes, then why do I have to dress the other way? If you have to ask yourself that question, if you have to ask yourself why you should dress in more wholesome clothing, then you're lost. Your heart, the condition of your heart is going to change your clothes. And I'm telling you, when God is directing you and speaking to your heart, you're going to have discernment, and there's going to be something. You're going to have a check in your spirit, certain things you put on. And this don't apply to everybody. Some of you, you're not doing all that. But those of you that's doing all that and then some, you've made the altar nothing more than a stage. It is entertainment. All right, guys, that is all I have.